Good morning, YouTube, and it is morning. Um, I'm up, and I want to share with you something that's been on my mind for a while now, and I want to share how Trump lost my vote. Let me first say that I did not vote for Trump in 2016. In fact, I haven't voted in a presidential election since 2008. And the reason I haven't voted since 2008 is because I'm, uh, I'm a person of conviction. I'm a Christian, I'm a conservative, but I vote my Christian convictions first and foremost. But let me just say with Trump, I didn't vote for Trump in 2016 because I figured he was a New York liberal who basically used conservative populist talking points to win the election and duped a bunch of people. And to my surprise, he has governed much more conservatively than I ever imagined, and was planning on voting for him in 2020 here. So I think there's some good that Trump has done. I think he's utterly exposed to the media. There's no more this veil of being unbiased anymore. So, but there's a real lack of leadership that I'm seeing in Trump that has become extremely obvious over the time of this pandemic and these riots and looting. Um, and by the way, this goes for all Republicans. I'll probably never vote Republican again. And the reason is because these are supposed to be the people who protect our civil liberties, protect our freedoms, and protect our nation. And they're just not doing it, period. What I'm kind of coming to discover is that Republicans despise conservatives, and they're on the same path as the left. It's just at a the descent down the slope isn't quite so steep. So they had a real opportunity with the Tea Party movement, and they completely let the Tea Party movement they completely let them down, and skeeters. And I don't think that they can pull off such a thing again because they so completely betrayed conservatives. So I'll be sitting out. I'll be sitting out because we have uh, a couple dozen nations on fire. Um, where is the president? Why isn't he using the Insurrection Act to crush Chaz or Chop or whatever it is? Should be sending the Marine Corps in there. And there's only a couple of things I can figure is that one, he doesn't have the will, or two, he doesn't have the backing of his generals to do such a thing, which gets back to an issue of the will. If he doesn't have generals who back him up, then he needs to fire those generals and get people in there who do back him up. But he doesn't have the will even to do that. So we have traitors, insurrectionists, seditionists in taking over a American land, and that should have been crushed on day two. It should have been crushed on day two. And every day I wake up, I read the news, and I watch, and I learn um, that there are deadly shootings and all manner of nonsense happening. Like, this is something that kind of looked like a little something like Occupy Wall Street, maybe, but it's definitely become something more than that. um, and the president simply lacks leadership. The economy is tanking. There's not enough discussion on reopening the economy and encouraging these liberal governors who are drunk on power to do the same. So, yeah, he has lost my vote. And the only way he could turn it around is to crush the insurrection, crush the people who want to destroy America's history and heritage, and um, and to reverse the economy by opening everything up. He has the power to do it. Look, and the only reason he has the power to do it is because nobody's following the Constitution on either side of the aisle. And I'm just done. I'm off. I'm out. I am not engaging in the process because the process is utterly corrupt. And yeah, I can't put my support behind it. I cannot put my Christian testimony on that ballot with a good conscience and say that it's the right thing to do. He's not good for the country, and his policies are failing, and he has 130 some days to turn it around. I just don't see it happening. I still see him talking about, his neckties and aluminum ramps and not wanting to slip and things that are completely nonsense. I don't know who's running his campaign, but he is going to lose to a dead man. He is going to lose to Joe Biden. And I think it maybe could be the best thing to happen for the conservative movement. It's going to be a lot of pain for our country. And it may completely change the face of this nation forever. But the reason I'm not voting is because I don't think my vote changes that. I don't think Trump or any Republican is going to take things in a different direction than the left. I think they're going to take it in the same direction at a slower pace. Final reason I won't be voting for Trump is the national debt. The national debt is incredibly high, unacceptably high, and we're looking at a dollar crash. We are looking at a dollar crash. We are looking at a Great Depression, and it's going to be on an epic scale because we are a nation that doesn't produce anything. And if the world that holds our debt decides to call in all that debt, we're screwed. If the debt's not addressed, we're done. If the world just decides that the dollar is no longer the world's currency, the world's reserve currency, and OPEC was to decide to start selling oil in another foreign exchange currency, then this country is really in big trouble. And I think that is a very real thing in our future. Republicans used to at least give lip service to the debt. We've got to address the debt. Well, 50% of this nation's budget comes from debt. You could never run your household that way. And now they're not even paying lip service to it. They're just saying, look, this is just a part of governance. This is just a part of governance. And in the meantime, they are screwing our children and grandchildren. This is how you transfer wealth from the middle class to the ruling class, is through inflation. And we have hyperinflation coming. Make no mistake about it. So, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord and we will batten down the hatches and do our best to weather the coming storm. But Trump is not the man to stop it. And that's what I got to say about that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like, hit the thumbs up, and leave a comment below whether you agree or disagree. Be glad to interact with you. See ya.